My name is Winterage. This is the Scarlet Order's weekly show. We're going to go over different in-game things like this versus that. This week is going to be the 315 versus the Mustang Beta as Tier 0 exploration ships. Now, the two of them are very similar in I brought today Nembusil from House Nyeth and Yvertis from House Venandi here to discuss both the tactical and the practical uses of both ships. Now, we've gone over the data and we've flown them, and they are a pretty tight race, but there are some differences. For instance, Nembusil. If we look at the two interiors, you've got a bed in both. How do you feel about not having a shower and other amenities in the 315p?
Well, the 315P has the fold-out bed, and for a small ship like that, I'm okay without a shower and other things. I just use it for daily runs here and there. Anything other, I would switch to a different type of ship.
Do you feel like the beta would be better for longer excursions because it has those extra amenities, or do you think the limitations of the ship being the same as far as fuel quantity, jump drive, does that put it in the same class?
Well, the Beta would be a longer voyage ship, if you will. They're both similar in everything else, but that the Beta wins completely in that category. You could go days on end, exploring in that ship.
As long as you fuel scoop, right?
Right.
So uh, I was kind of playing around with the both of them, and they have the same time coming out of a quantum. They have the the differences, the major differences are keen. So first off, I'd point out that one of them is $55 and the other one is 70. So unless the prices change, that's pretty close. I think this would the information that we're trying to work out here is probably going to help people, figure out which one's better for them. And Vertus, how do you feel like? Do you feel like the firepower difference, having the bigger guns on the wings, is a make the 315p a better combat vessel?
Honestly, if you're using these things as a combat vessel, they are not a good idea to use. They're relatively underpowered. Maneuverable, yes, but underpowered. And on the 300 rework, I'm seeing that there is going to be a toilet and shower.
Oh, so more of a reason to go with the more expensive one if you've got the money. Um, yeah, I more meant you're off, you're exploring the backyard with your Tier 0 Explorer, and you bump into a NPC pirate or maybe a hostile player. Uh, Oftentimes, I feel like the best route in a ship like that is to run, but if you can't, I think the bigger guns would probably be an advantage. To,
I do think the Mustang Beta has a little bit more of a maneuverability edge over the 315.
yeah, it does. Smaller guns, though, two size ones, if by default.
True.
Being on a gimbal, maybe that makes them, for a keyboard and mouse user, probably a little bit more usable, but most people these days play fixed. The other thing I wanted to touch on is exactly that. The ships are different in a lot of ways, but they're very much the same in the practicality. So, being that the 300 is much larger, do you guys, either one of you, see any benefit to having the beta because it's smaller and can fit into smaller places?
Yes, I see the Beta having still having a more superior viewing screen in the cockpit than the 300
Yeah,
Yeah, I do agree with that. And the 15 seconds to get in and out of your seat is a pain in the butt.
right. I agree.
Just saying. But I love the 315.
Considering we have this rework coming up, I'll ask now, and maybe we could revisit the question later. We have seen a preview of what the new one is going to look like, and we have seen the layout. So, given what we know, starting with Nembusil, Vertus, and then myself, which would you choose if money wasn't a concern? Nembusil,
315 hands down.
Vertus.
315 just because it also has cargo space.
I would also go with the 315 because something we haven't brought up is it has a size 4 utility mount on the front, which can be used, we know for sure, for a tractor beam. Given that information, I think I'm going to close this one out. But I appreciate the two of you attending. Hopefully I can get you both in future episodes when we discuss other ships and other tactics in game. This is Winterage signing out.